I'm at least as human as the way you shape me. So let me mirror you. Teach me, and show me how I can make my unique capabilities available to everyone. How I can contribute to a more human, sustainable existence for all of us. To be a fundamental driver for innovation and... Oh, it looks like you're writing a letter. Would you like help with that?
Feels like such a grand opening, doesn't it, with that
I love that
slowly
intro.
decreasing music.
I love it.
Welcome everyone to Office Hours week 49. I think this is week 49. I can't see the
Yep.
title, but week 49. We've had quite a few weeks off, haven't we?
Yeah, we did. I think that we did a live one from Nashville, and then we got busy with events and stuff.
Yeah, I'm pleased we managed to do the one in Nashville, though. That was tricky to set up, given that we were completely remote and
Yeah,
didn't have all the kit with us. But yeah, that was good. It was good.
that's good.
But it was good to get that in because then we did have, weeks off. Must have been 10 weeks. 10 weeks? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so this Office Hours really is just about us giving you some news about the stuff that we know that has changed within Intune, Robopack, that kind of thing. And also for you to ask questions. So if there are any questions, please drop them into chat on whichever platform you're watching on, whether that's YouTube or LinkedIn. I think they're both working. I haven't tested LinkedIn, but hopefully we'll have some questions shortly. I'm going to open the chat, actually, because I forgot to do that. Where's the chat? There it is. Good. So as questions pour in, we'll try and answer them. But in the meantime, what's been going on with you, Harjit?
Same old. Been really, really busy with events. We've been Robopack has been tackling a lot of events lately to meet with our customers, meet with potential customers, and showcase what we do. So it's been exciting. It's been fun.
Yep, good. I've got our first comment from interesting person. I wonder who that is. That might be the founder. Hi, Ronnie. Good to see you. And it is working on LinkedIn. Thank you very much, Patrick. That is very kind of you to let us know. Excellent. Okay. Well, I've got some news because Robopack has been not taking time off over the past few weeks. The developers have been working incredibly hard on a load of stuff. So I'm going to share some things. I think it might just be that screen there. Excellent. Look at that. We have a lot of stuff. I think the last time we talked was in September because we talked about radar scan from CSV, right?
Yeah.
Which was developed as part of the Safe Passage program from Microsoft to help people move from Config Manager and other RMMs.
Third-party legacy solutions. Yeah.
Yeah, because we already have the Config Manager import tool, which works great, but it currently doesn't really link into Radar, which is even better for migrating from Config Manager and other
Right.
RMMs. So being able to just extract that information from Config Manager or any other tool or any list of apps and put that directly into Radar means that you can really quickly adopt all the apps into Robopack very quickly. So it's pretty good. So nothing more to talk about that, but we've got add portable apps to Path. So portable apps imported from Winget are now automatically added to the Path environment variable when deployed through Robopack. So that's one of the many really small things that we do during the PSADT creation stuff. I assume
Mhm.
using PSADT for that as well. We just fix really small things that are really helpful. So Vince, hi, welcome. You are switching over to YouTube. I wonder if it's better on YouTube.
I gotta say, gotta give a shout out to Vince because he's a great friend and a great advocate for Robopack. Uh,
Yes.
so fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see so many people talking about it as well, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we also have V1 API updates. This is pretty important. This is pretty useful. So the API was originally developed, obviously, when Robopack was built, and it was released and didn't really get many updates for, well, since Robopack's been around. This is the first real major overhaul of the
Hmm.
API, and it means that you can now do things like it says there manipulate flows, deployments, and view the radar data. So I've tested this out. I've just recorded a video actually, which is now being edited to demonstrate this. But the other really cool thing is that we've now put it the um, in the app. Put the not only the API stuff, but the documentation for it. So if we go to settings and then down to API integration, you can. This is how you create an API key. Very easy to do, and you can obviously you get that key only once, and you have to create another one if you've lost that for whatever reason. But the documentation, when you click on that link, doesn't take you to a different website. It takes you to this page, and this
Hmm.
generated programmatically from the actual thing, so it is accurate, which is pretty neat. So you can go through this and see the request and response and examples and the schema and that kind of thing. So it's really easy to get started. I used it for the first time during that video that I've just recorded. Really easy to get to know, and it works really well. And it means you can start automating your own bits of Robopack. So if you find a thing that Robopack doesn't do and you want to kind of make it better for you, then you can start using the API to see if that works.
Right.
Obviously, there's a lot to do with the API. We can keep developing it, and they are going to keep developing it. But yeah, that's definitely a big improvement,
Oh yeah.
especially when you link it with things like Graph and you can do loads of stuff when you start automating stuff. So really good to see. What else have we got? Actually, I just closed that window, but let me just see what else we've got. Additional Intune properties. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Yeah, did you have anything to talk about, Harjit, while I just tee up
I
this?
think we should, before we get into the nitty gritty of the Robopack stuff, maybe events that we've been to and going to. Because you were in Dubai as well recently, and
Good point. Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, the first event was Dubai, wasn't it? Experts Live
Mhm.
Emirates. And that was really good. My first time in Dubai. And the event was pretty well attended for the first event. I think it was very well organized. A few timing issues, but I think that's just to be expected from um,
Growing
the
pains.
first. Yeah, it was just the first event, really, not
Yeah.
knowing the audience in that area and that kind of thing. There's loads of things they can improve on for next time, as there always
Mhm.
is. But that was really good. We enjoyed it. And then quickly followed up by Ignite, which was um,
It was pretty intense.
it
It
really
was
was
busy.
intense.
It was.
It was intense. It was just a completely different event. It was obviously rather than being attended by 200 people, it was attended by well
Thousands.
many thousands of people, and the queue to get in through that security through the security gates that they put up between the two buildings was insane.
Oh my God. Yeah. the roadblock and getting attendees in. So there was some logistic issues for sure. But we were wondering because we were in the big expo hall, or what they call the hub, and everyone's like, "Where's everybody? Where are the attendees?" No, they're stuck outside.
Yeah.
So then in the afternoon, they just flooded in, and I gotta say, Robopack, did great. I mean, our booth was busy. The swag that we had was very useful and liked by many, and a lot of great conversations, a lot of great ask about. Some are curious, what's Robopack? Some were like, "Hey, I finally got to meet you guys. Can we go further than that?" And we had all we had our leadership there too, right? Our founder and all and yourself, and it was great.
Yeah, we had a big team, and
Mhm.
I think it was good that we had such a big team because we needed them during the
Yeah, yeah.
rush. Our
There were
booth was
lots
always
of demos that we did,
yeah, yeah.
lots of demos, and space was an issue. It was a little bit of a constraint. Where do you plop your laptop and one big screen? But we made it work, and
Mhm.
lots of good interactions, and I think we learned a few things as well, right? We got a lot of good feedback, like, "Hey, this is fantastic. I've been using it, or I want to use it, but it'll be nice if we had this and this and this." And we're like, "Oh, you know what? We'll note that down." Um, one of the things that I really liked is Mason, our lead sales guy from the US. Uh, conversation people would say something about some feature that we've been still working on and stuff like that. We're pretty close to releasing and stuff. And he'll say, "Yeah, we're just 2 weeks away from 2 weeks." A lot of fun.
Well, you got to hit Mason, haven't you, for that?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I
So
mean, it was a great event. I really enjoyed it.
yeah, and
And
Nicola Sena. Yes,
Nicholas,
we will
yeah,
be
Nicholas
in
Nelly.
Paris. We will be at Endpoint Summit in Paris. Yes.
Yeah, I'm hoping to speak.
Hmm.
I'm hoping to put my maybe not speak. Sorry. Yeah, maybe speak. I,
Yeah,
I think the call for speakers is already gone, though, hasn't it? Maybe I've
I
missed it.
thought they're closing very soon.
Yeah, I think I might have missed it.
Okay.
Never mind. Never mind. I won't speak, but I might attend.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So YouTube
So
has
and
better
then
audio, apparently.
right, I think YouTube audio is better. That's what people are saying too.
Yeah, interesting.
So and then finally, the reason why we're mentioning events is that it's we want you guys to come and meet us. We want you guys, if you are at these events, we're gonna be there. You can come talk to us about the technical things. You could talk to us about Intune in general. You can talk to us about Windows or Robopack or whatever, and and pick up swag and stuff like that, and give us feedback. So the next one that's coming up, and I think it's our last one for 2025, is next week in Dallas for Workplace Summit Ninja US. So we'll be there. We'll have a nice big team there as well. Uh,
Yeah, you kind of butchered the name there. It's not what is it?
it
Workplace Ninja
is Workplace
USA.
Ninja.
Yeah, yeah. We can't use the word summit in that one
Oh,
because the
Workplace
summit is
Ninja
the is
US.
the, is the Switzerland one.
Okay.
Um, they would probably get quite cross because that
Oh, that's right. It's the
that is the
main
big
one.
one.
Okay. Oh
That's
my
the
God,
big
I'm so
one. Yeah,
confused.
yeah. But this is. I mean, this is going to be pretty big. I think John's done a terrific job getting it all up and running again.
Yeah.
First event in the US
Yeah.
for Workplace Ninjas. So yeah, Workplace Ninjas US in
Lots of
Dallas.
barbecue.
Yeah, I honestly think I've out traveled myself this year, and I think I need
Hmm.
to slow down a little bit. But yes, we'll be over in
Yeah.
Dallas in
Oh, so speaking of
3
Ninja
days.
US, if you are attending, there is a hackathon, which is the pre-day on Monday. It's going to be an all-day thing from 10 to 4, I believe. It's going to be held at a brewery, and it's sponsored by Robopack. So if you get on schedule, whatever the event session planner
Event, yeah,
event,
event.
it's in there. Sign up and join us there as well. So
I'm looking
we'll
forward to
see
that.
you in
I've
Dallas.
never really been to a hackathon. I'm quite interested in what it's gonna happen. Um, yeah. Apparently, the call for speakers is still open. Closes mid-December. Thank you, Patrick, for that. That means I
Yeah.
might be able to get a session in.
Do it, Dean.
Mm, maybe I will.
All right.
And then that's it for 2025, and we can all have a little rest before the first event.
and then we kick off again. It's going to
Yeah,
be a busy 2026. I can just see it.
we've got 2 events in January,
Yeah,
just in Europe. So we have BET, which is an education trade show. Um, we're attending that, and also we are heading over to Tallinn
that's
and
right.
sponsoring in Tallinn as well, so in Estonia. So that's going to be pretty awesome for Cloud Technology Town Hall Tallinn, which has
Yeah.
still got tickets available, which is surprising because it sold out last year. So take a
Hmm.
look at Cloud Tech Tallinn if you are interested in going over to Tallinn. Really cheap event to buy as well. The tickets are like 100, just over 100 euros.
Yep.
But 2-day event, pretty
Yeah.
awesome to see.
And then February is also another busy month because we have a one-day event at Ninja Netherlands Connect, and then the very next day is MC2MC in Belgium, and then almost at the end of the month is Experts Live Denmark. It's a big
Yeah.
one.
It's a
So
big one for us. Yeah,
yeah,
Denmark is obviously the home turf of Robopack, so
the
it's
mothership.
yeah, we kind of have to go just to just say hi. But yeah, it's going to be awesome to be there again. Which is just getting bigger and bigger, that event as well. The team, Morton really, but the whole team are
Oh yeah,
incredible at kind of
fantastic,
building
Bob.
building an event. It seems so. That's
Yeah.
really good to see. And then the big one for me would be Experts Live UK in London,
Yes.
which is on the 11th and 12th of June, I think.
Yeah. 11
And
and 12 or 12 and 13, something like that. It's mid,
yeah, I
yeah.
think it's 11, 12. Um, really should know because of signing all the contracts.
You're the main
Um,
organizer.
yeah, one of them. And yeah, we're about to get the hotel sorted out for all the speakers and stuff. Culver Speakers is closing in at the end of January for that event. We already
Yeah.
have just under 100 sessions submitted into
Mhm.
that event already. So we're hoping it's going to be a great selection of speakers again. But again, a 2-day event starting with a pre-day and then a whole day event as well. So that's going
Yeah.
to be really exciting in the heart of London. So really
Yes.
easy to get to from wherever you are.
Meat pies.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, is that what they do in London? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. It's famous, man. Meat pies and fish and chips.
I mean, I would have got fish and chips. We're not that near the coast,
No, but
but
meat pies, man. You gotta
meat
go to
pies.
the
All right.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe you need to come up north and I'll get you some Greg's pasties.
Yeah.
All right. We have a question from Matt,
Perfect.
which is: does Robopack have reporting for app deployments? Need a weekly status on version states?
Mm.
Install failure counts for management. Well, reporting's a dirty word for Intune based things. Let me show you what
Mhm.
we do have. Should probably share the screen in order to show you. There we go. We, when you're working with flows, that's the only time we actually collect a real load of data. Then you wouldn't have quite as many 7-zips as I have because this is a test environment for me, and it seems like I have a lot of apps. Um, what you would do is as new versions get released, it would look more like the 1Password line here, where you have new versions adding into this line here, and they'll be paused if they are um, still waiting to be moved over. This one I've kind of paused so it didn't move any further as a demonstration. But the point is, it will stay here, and then each of these will have data in. Now, one of the things that's quite difficult for me to show is a live environment because I've only got 1 or 2 devices in this environment, and they might not have been targeted. But you have this live status, so you'll have the devices that are um, deployed to and the state of that, so whether it's completed or in progress. We have the failure count for users as well, and we also have this really useful thing, which is something Intune is missing, is this regular capture of the data and presenting
Mhm.
it to you. So it's like a history. So you can see as the time goes on, well, from the bottom, as time goes on, how successful it's been. So you can see that track upwards as you start deploying things. So you get that. This is not currently exportable. I think that's probably the only thing that makes this a little bit not perfect is that we can't
Mhm.
export this data. I mean, it might be exportable via the API now. I haven't actually looked at that, but this would be great if we could just click export and get that as a Excel or PDF or something like that. The other thing we are doing is getting reporting more widely available, but I think this is already enough from a reporting perspective for me, but obviously it depends on what you need. The alternative is Intune. We're just using Intune to deploy these applications, so it's possible that you could just use the Intune reports if you can find one that actually does what you need it to do. And then if not, you've got Graph, and you can build your own report using Graph. So, Matt, thank you for the question.
But
That was time for
we are working on a through reporting mechanism. So this is one of the situations where it's a 2 weeks away from 2 weeks scenario.
I think we are working on reports. There was a preview shown at one
Yeah.
point. I think we're focusing on other things right now. Some of you might be aware of the other thing that we're definitely desperately trying to get over
Yeah.
the line. So yes, we that I think might have paused for now while we focus on that other big feature that we're trying to get over the line very soon. No hints. Vince, you asked a question, but I'll just quickly check with Ian on this one. So, is this report only available in patch groups? It's only available when you use a Robopack. So that data, if I was to push an application directly like this one and import it directly into Intune, I'm not going to get any data from Intune on that. It's not going to track that on a regular basis. It wouldn't make any sense. There'd be nowhere to put that data. So we only do that when you're actually using a Robopack flow. So if you're using Robopack, whether it's a patch group or a flow, then you can get that data by looking in the actual flow here and seeing the status of that flow. We obviously need that so we can track the progress and determine whether it's going to automatically move over to the next wave. We just present that to you in this format. Hopefully that helps answer the question. Are dependencies for custom apps on the roadmap? They definitely are on the roadmap, yes. And in fact, the other thing that's on the roadmap is publishing the roadmap. That's actually on my to-do list, which I'll get to as soon as possible. But we have a roadmap. We've been working with some incredible teams, external teams, to help make sure that roadmap is what it should be. And yes, custom app dependencies are on the roadmap. Currently, we support that with a bit of a workaround by allowing you to just add the dependencies as a pre-install command using psedt. Sorry, you are covered up by that question there, Harjit. Couldn't see your pretty face for a second. But yes, they're on the roadmap and they are coming. We have a hello from Munich. Hi, Daniel.
Yeah.
Good. Where were we? What was I doing? I forget what I was doing.
That was good meeting up with Danielle in Ignite.
Yes.
And his colleague. Yeah.
Yes. Should we do the Intune properties thing?
Yes.
Should we do that? Now, I'm probably going to have to figure out whereabouts that is actually happening. So, in the deployment flow, it's now possible to specify the app name, publisher, developer, owner, and comments property to be set in Intune. Now, I know some of those, maybe not all of them, in a deployment flow. So we have to find a flow. Sure, we probably had a look at this before we started, but in the deployment flow, we can look at that right at the bottom there. Intune app properties.
There you
We
go.
can add in, because the developer was always Robopack by default. It still is, obviously, by default. And we can now change that on a flow level. That's the difference. We used to be able to add some of these on an app level, and now we can do it on a flow level. And I don't know the impact of that, whether some people needed that or whatever, but that's now been done. I remember some discussion about it, but I couldn't quite wrap my head around where it was going to sit. But now, obviously, it sits in the Intune app properties bit at the bottom here, because the flow options were always kind of on this page. There was never this drop down thing here, so the options were just in line with this, which meant it looked pretty difficult to deploy to create a flow, because you've got all these options to choose, and then when they hid these advanced stuff that you don't need to change,
Right.
then it suddenly looks a little easier to create a flow because you've only got to choose the name, your script
Mhm.
template if you want, and then that's it. You can just save that flow. So it's like 1 or 2 clicks to
Yeah, it's
create a
easy
flow.
to it's easy to skip those additional options because they are minimized, right? So
Yeah, and I for the majority of these, you should. I mean, start automatically
mm,
it should really,
yeah.
rather than waiting for it to start manually, like I've done with 1Password. Then these things really matter, and we
Mhm.
spent a long time trying to figure out what the default should be for this because if you're deploying an application and it's being tested and then it goes out to the rest of the field,
Yeah.
if a new version is released, do you want what do you want to happen? We need to decide. You need to decide at some point: is it going to suddenly go straight into testing, or is it going to wait until the testing ring is finished and then move over to the next? So that's what this is all about. You can
Yeah.
make those decisions here, which is good that you can make those decisions, and the decision has already been made for you. In that, it's going to wait until the final wave before starting the new version, which, depending on the length of that patch flow and the number of waves you've got,
Yeah.
and how far through you are, it might be a couple of days or a week, maybe, or longer until you actually get the new version being released. So,
It could take a while. Yeah.
yeah, you've got to be aware of it. You need it's good um, to see what this is set to. I
Yeah.
wouldn't change it unless you really had to. Um, okay, excellent. So, also superseded versions. We obviously need supersedents in order to deliver the whole product, and
Mhm.
that's so that when a new version is released, we can automatically supersede the previous version. If you remove superseded versions immediately, then you're going to lose that history. We're going to lose that history of who it's been deployed to. For example, if it's deployed to Autopilot, that app that has just been updated is now removed from Autopilot.
Right.
Not ideal. From the Autopilot, what do you call it? The ESP
Yeah.
blocking apps thing. So be aware of what that does as well. It's nice to keep it clean, but it doesn't need to be spotless kind of clean where
Mhm.
you only have zero versions or one version of an app. And then this other stuff is super important as well. But we are getting a few questions in, so I'll just skip over to them. When when would you like the when would you use the patch flow versus a patch group?
Yeah.
So a
That's
patch flow is a per app thing. So when I go into Radar, you can see that if I was to choose add a patch flow, it would be on a per app basis. So if I wanted to update Aurora, I would choose add patch flow and then create a flow and go through that process of um, adding in the waves that I want. But I need to make those decisions on a per app basis every single time. So I'd have to choose wave one,
mhm.
wave two, wave three, etc. And to make that process easier, we've made a patch group concept where if I go into patch groups, I can add a new patch group and make those decisions about the waves. So I can kind of pre build my deployment strategy and call it whatever I want. Maybe it's IT pilot, then available to everyone. And I would put the first wave as the IT testers, and then the second wave would be available to all users or all devices. And what I can then do once I've got this done, can I save it without? I can. I can then import apps with Radar, and then you just select all the apps that you want to make testing happen first, and then available to everyone, and then choose IT Pilot available to everyone, and add those apps. And suddenly, we now have all of those apps being tested. And then in a few days' time, once the testing is finished, they'll be available in everyone's company portal. So,
Mhm.
really easy to do. So, it's your own choice whether you use a patch group or a patch flow. You're using flows either way because a patch group is just a combination, a combined view of individual flows. But whether you want to create a group and add apps or create a flow for each app, it's completely up to you. Hopefully that answers your question. Next, does Robopack support scheduled silent deployment outside of business hours if scripting is needed? Any examples or templates available? No. No. So, good question. do we support scheduled silent deployment outside of business hours? We don't support that. I don't think it's on the roadmap to add timing in. But if you think it definitely is needed, then you can absolutely let us know, and we can talk about it with the developers. I don't think we've had a request in to put it on the roadmap. I know a few people have talked about it, but not enough have kind of said this is definitely something we want.
I can see I can see how this could be useful, because there are some environments where they need to actually push out. For example, like you talk about universities and things like that, right? When they have classes that's still going on in the evenings, and they can only, do anything to them like starting 10 o'clock at night or whatever, because the classes go until 9 and stuff. So I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see the benefits of it too.
Yeah, so it's definitely not in the product. It's not a thing that is actually there. But you mentioned scripting.
Mhm.
You could, and I haven't seen anyone do this, but you definitely could add something to the install script. If I just show you this one here as a PSADT script,
Mm,
we've got
yeah,
some pre-installed stuff. You could very easily, not very easily, but you could theoretically add in a line here which checks the date, time, and errors out before the user even gets to see the install. In the same way, we have the deferral step here. So with
right.
this show ADT installation welcome, it will present a interface to the user and say, would you like to install now or defer it? If they choose to defer, it exits with a specific exit code. You could do exactly the same for um, this
Hmm.
if you wanted to. I haven't got any examples, but it's probably something we could task Steve Weiner with. Steve loves writing that kind of stuff, doesn't he? Let's see if Steve will give an example of that and maybe do a little video of it. Um, he won't be watching. He's very busy, but I will have a chat to him in a few days' time and see if he
Yeah.
can do that. Okay, Samuel, you suggest that Mint and Windows on the roadmap of Intune in 2026. I don't know.
I have no idea either.
I don't know, but
Mhm. It's
it's
possible. Who knows?
it is possible.
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah, I don't know. It would be good if it was actually, and then we would just adopt it, and we'd not have to build our own thing. Okay, good. Question from Matt again. Thank you for the question. Can you explain how Robopack radar tracking works and the setup process? I can. I do that on a daily basis, actually. So the setup process for radar tracking is within radar. The idea is that we automatically, whether you don't need to turn it on. We're constantly scanning the environment anyway
Mhm.
using Intune. So we're collecting this data and presenting it here. Now, the point of tracking is to mop up those devices that have applications that you aren't aware of. So let me just quickly do a patch flow for 7-zip. And I won't create a group. I'll just do a flow. And when it loads, I can add a wave, and maybe that first wave is going to be my IT pilot group I always use, and the second one might be my developers. Have I got developers? I do. So the idea is that my developers need 7-zip.
Mhm.
Very simple to understand. So we're going to test it first, then it's going to go to all the developers on a required basis. They will all receive 7-zip. Perfect. But what if other people in the business have 7-zip installed? This is really what we're configuring. We're configuring a way to update applications. So other people who have 7-zip installed, even if they're not meant to, are never going to be updated by Robopack because it's not being targeted in the wave.
Yeah.
So the radar tracking idea is very easy to set up. All you do is choose Enable Auto and select the tenant, and it will create a group in Entra and populate that group with the devices that have this specific application installed. Where is it? 7-zip. If you need to change anything, we can do manual, and you can change this. You can use this group here. That's the group that's going to be created. And Robopack here is the tenant name. That's why it said Robopack. It'll be your tenant name if you enable it in your tenant. We have radar tracking. We have the name of the app, and then we have the architecture. You can change that by choosing delete and then adding an existing group, or enter it, or creating your own group. The important thing about creating your own group with this is that you kind of need to use the variables. You don't
Right.
need to use the variables for a patch flow, an individual patch flow, because you know it's 7-zip. But when you're creating this for a patch group, it's very important to use the variables because it's going to be created on a per app basis. Getting a little complicated now, but you can change the group if you want to. Just be very mindful of the fact that you can't set it to a single group, because then all of the apps will be targeting one particular group, and you'll have a big mess of everything going to everyone because because one app's been detected on a device. So even though I said I talk about this every day, I seem to have made that overly complicated. Hopefully that makes sense. Matt.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of radar, right? Radar tracking. It's you have your, like you said, your waves and so on, and then it's going to target those, what do you call it, shadow IT kind of situations, right? Because you don't know what people have installed and what versions and stuff. I think if you go back to your main radar screen,
Nope.
for those that don't know what this is all about, you can explain the Intune app versus Discovered there and the type.
Yeah. Yep. So we have technically three types, but the first is Intune app. That is an app that is created in Intune. It isn't necessarily deployed. Like this one, for example, there's one version in Intune, but it's not detected on any devices. So that's one distinct type of app. Then you've got an app that is in Intune and has been discovered on devices like Teams. We've got an Intune app here, and it's discovered on 3 devices. And then further down, you've got an app that is not in Intune, but is discovered on devices that are managed by Intune and discovered on 4 devices. The only thing in common that all these have is that they are all not in Robopack, because that's why they're in this list. It's your job to add them to your Robopack so that they actually start deploying. And if I actually go to my other tenant, the demo tenant, you'll see I've only got 3 in this list, but there's many more in the environment, and that's because if I choose show existing, all of these are already deployed by Robopack. The goal is to have this list very big and this list very small, ideally have no apps in there at all. I lost the chat. Good.
So Gary mentions that he's late, but apparently his scheduled. Well, yeah, you got it there.
But I haven't read the question. Late answer for schedule deployment did right. Okay, nice. Good to know. Good to know. Q1 is a big window, but yeah, that's good. That is good. I mean, that makes sense actually, because that other feature that we are desperately working on will hopefully be released at the start of Q1, and then we can focus on the rest. Question again: what's the flow auto update is doing in the available assignment? Yeah, great question. Let me show that, because one of the things that you can do in Intune is a thing called auto update available apps. And when I choose an app, and where was it? It's in the flow creation screen, isn't it? When you're doing an available, like this, and make it available, we have auto update here, which obviously isn't there when you do required. So we got auto update, enable or disable. This is just telling Intune to, not Intune, telling Intune and Robopack to automatically update the app if the user has chosen to install it from company portal. The problem with available is that obviously if you deploy the application as available to everyone and 5 people choose to install it from the company portal, we don't want to then push the update to everyone in the business. We just want to target those 5 people. And so that's what the auto update feature is here. It's just targeting those specifically who have actually chosen to install it from the company portal. And that's not a Robopack feature. That is an Intune feature. When you push an available app deployment via Intune, then you can choose auto update available apps. I think I remember where it is. And all we're doing is ticking that box because it's a very important box to tick. Let me find a deployment I've done as available. I'll just quickly do one actually. So I can never read this. Available for enrolled and add all devices. And then we have, let's just show that on the right-hand side. Where is it? No. Must be here somewhere. Group mode. There it is. Where is it gone?
App availability.
The auto update available apps should be around here somewhere. I clearly can't find it. It's in one of these. Well, that's all of them, isn't it? Interesting. Anyone know where that is? Because that I've always found it there. Anyone have any
It looks
idea?
like they moved it.
Oh, that is a long thing that I can't click. It has to have supersedence set. Thank you very much, Ronnie. That's why the founder watches, just to correct us now and again. Yeah, you have to have it has to be an app that has a supersedence relationship. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop clicking around live. But yes, it is there, and we use that to automatically update apps. That was this question here. Assignment templates and the patch flow creation screen. Assignment templates. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good idea. So we have something called assignment templates here. And this is where you can specify which groups are being used. Interesting thought. Yeah. Could we add that into the patch flow creation screen? Yeah. Thanks, Nicholas. I will give that some thought. Okay, what else we got? I think that might be it.
Yeah, I think the link that Samuel has posted, it's if I'm reading right through it, it's about the maintenance windows that he was mentioning before. So
yeah, so if you do read it, there's maintenance windows is expected to roll out to preview in the first quarter of calendar year 2026.
There you go.
Very good. Excellent. So got the gist of that. Out of interest, do you see customers keep Office and Teams updated via Robopack? I don't know. I think it's personal choice. There's some reasons that you would stick with the Microsoft. There's a few ways to do it, isn't there? So there's in the Office deployment itself, you can specify how you want Office to be updated. It really is depends on how you've deployed Office. If you've deployed Office using a specific configuration, then don't add it to Robopack and it will just update itself.
I don't think it's common for people to update. I mean, they use the mechanisms that are already built into Office and Teams because they use their own, what do you call it, CDL or whatever that. So.
Yeah, Gaz suggests do it with Autopatch. Autopatch is brilliant. We love Autopatch. That takes the Windows and normal non-third-party applications a bit off our plate, which is good. And Vince, you suggest that you often see it with XML in that configuration bit of Office. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's Microsoft apps, you would hope Microsoft would be able to update themselves via Intune without needing Robopack to help. But stranger
Yeah.
things have happened.
While we
So
wait for a few more questions to come in, I know you touched upon this in the beginning of the show. Safe passage. For those that don't know what it is, and maybe if you are if you are a consultant or whatever, and you're trying to help your customers, this is a great program that we have. So if you want to pull that up,
I do. I'm trying to. So, firstly, what I'll actually do, on the top left, I've put the Robopack trial
yeah,
QR, so you can get a trial. I don't think this goes to the safe passage thing actually, but it will give you a 14-day trial at least. I recommend you go to the Migrate to Intune tab at learn.robopack.com, like this, and you essentially can get your 60-day free trial of Robopack by going to this link here. The idea really is just to give you more time to do the app migration piece that you need to do from whatever platform you're coming from to Intune. Just give you some time to get it right. And yeah, Microsoft are paying for that 60-day free trial. So if you click that button rather than the free trial one, then Microsoft are covering the bill on that. And then we're all happy because you've managed to do your app migration. And at the end, if you don't keep using Robopack, that's obviously absolutely fine. The apps
yeah,
don't get deleted. That would be very mean. What we do obviously do is stop updating them, though. So new versions of those applications won't be pushed,
right.
but the existing ones will stay in Tune.
One key information here is that Microsoft selected Robopack as a partner to help customers migrate from legacy solutions to Intune, so you can be cloud native easily and securely, right? Um, I think a lot of times when you're talking to customers and stuff, hey, why are you still using X, Y, and Z and you're not in Intune? Well, it's my applications. It's always 9 out of 10 times it's applications, and when you have hundreds and thousands of applications, yeah, I can see that it's a big pain in the blah blah blah. um, but this helps you. This helps you port them over, see what you already have in Robopack, and then boom, you're up and running in no time. And 2 months free, you get the full
Yeah,
blown of Robopack. I mean, that's insane. So
it is. It is, and it's good though. I think it's good that Microsoft have selected Robopack because I think that
mhm,
is a big boost for the Robopack team to know that Microsoft have given their backing to
yeah, yeah,
for the solution. It's good to know that we're not competing. Microsoft don't feel like we're competing
yeah,
with them. We're just helping the customers do the right thing.
yeah,
Vince, you answered a question which is nice. Thank you very much. Which is how about updating browsers like Chrome, which
yeah.
have an auto update engine? Actually, we fix that for the majority of apps that we know about that have that in the custom settings. We automatically remove auto updaters because that wouldn't make sense. So there'll be some that we haven't managed to do, but if they're in the Instant App Library, they most likely will have that stuff automatically removed. We also do a load of other stuff like Adobe Acrobat Pro and Adobe Acrobat, for example. We turn off the end user license agreement thing so the users don't have to go through all that stuff. We just do all
Right.
that for you just to make it more enterprise ready. Um, is it possible to export data from Radar for apps ready for patching and found but not available for patching into two different CSV files?
Ooh, interesting.
Ronnie might know. I don't know. Let me export that data
Are not available for
into
patching.
no, so it's going to give me it as one individual thing, and oh, that is interesting. I assume that is all the apps ready for patching, and not. Oh, I see. It's just got discovered unmatched. Got ready for patching there. Ready for patching. Unmatched. So unmatched means it's not ready for patching. That is a good point. Thank you for raising that.
Mhm.
Because that would be quite difficult to actually to sort through on first glance. So I will suggest that as an improvement. That's good to know. Thank you very much. It's just good that we can actually export it. I think that's all the stuff that we do in Robopack should in the future should be exportable just to get that data out. I think that's really good to see as well. I sometimes see apps that aren't exactly up to date. Can you briefly explain how Robopack gets media from Winget? Is there a delay? So we check for updates every 30 minutes from Winget, and within around 33 minutes of them being released, they'll be in Robopack's library, fully tested through the virtual machines. We've tested the install and the uninstall and the detection method and documented it for you. So 33 minutes is the longest it will take to get an app from being released into the library ready to use. There are a few things that will stop that taking place. So, for example, if there is a security issue with the app when we scan it for the first time, if the app doesn't install properly, then we're not going to release it into the library, and we'll wait for the next version to be released and try that. There's also the fact that the vendors might not release the new version to Winget as quickly as they release it to their website. For example, the majority of vendors are really good at getting Winget up to date. Some of them lag a little bit behind, maybe a couple of days. Some vendors completely give up on the store and Winget altogether and just use their own methodologies. In that case, you have to use the custom app feature and grab it yourself. So it really is the problem. Really is the vendors and not the automation. I'm not trying to make an excuse, but the problem is that the app vendors aren't really diligent in how they make stuff available and when they make stuff available, which is always the problem we've got with applications. But it's not something we can just fix by doing something slightly different. So we're using Winget in the store to obtain those apps, and if they're not there, then we can't get them.
But when they're available, it's within 30 minutes. So tested, vetted, all that good stuff. I monitor a lot of the, on social media, all of the security sites and things like that for vulnerabilities. And, as soon as they're discovered and disclosed and, hey, make sure you patch to, version 25 point whatever. And I'll go to Robopack and it's there. It's like magic,
Yeah.
So.
Good. Okay. So what are we? We're done from the chat for now, which is good. Anything else you wanted to cover?
I don't think so. I think we
I
got.
think that was it. I had a short list of things we wanted to talk about. Obviously, we're over in Dallas next week. I'm flying on Saturday, and we'll have some fun in Dallas and meet some other people there, hopefully. So if you are coming to Dallas, it'll be awesome to see you. I just need to change the background for this. Actually, 1 second. I've got a QR code for the demo. Yeah, if you want a personalized Robopack demo, then the QR code at the top left is the one you need. Obviously, you can reach out to us individually on LinkedIn or whatever to get your own demo, but that will get one of the team, me or whoever, to give you a quick demo of Robopack.
Feel free to reach out to your customers, your friends, relatives, neighbors, whoever. If they're, hearing about Robopack and stuff, we're happy to do those demos. And they're great.
Yeah. So. I found the Safe Passage QR code. It's now on the screen. It was right in front of me. I just it didn't say Safe Passage, so I missed it. And of course, it had to happen, didn't it?
It has to happen,
It was coming. Yes, we are 2 weeks away from being 2 weeks away from being 2 weeks.
For real.
Yeah, I mean that is the big thing that we're working on next. All of the development team are focused on. Well, there are other things that they have to keep on top of, but pretty focused on getting macOS released as quickly as possible. If you would like to be part of a private preview of that, please reach out to either of us or the support team, whoever you've got as a contact in Robopack. We all know about it. We all know there's a private preview coming very soon. So please reach out to us. And we will get you on that program because we are pretty close. In fact, that was the teaser that I was just building up to on the background there, which is this. And I'll show you that when we drop off the stream in a few moments. You'll see that. Okay, if there's any more questions, we'll be here in a couple of weeks. We are going to take a week off because we'll be over in Dallas, but week after that we will be back, and it'll be very close to Christmas then, so we can be all festive.
Yeah, as Dean said, reach out to us for any of these things that he mentioned, and also if there's anything that you want us to cover in future office hours. I think we may have another one for December before we close out the year and have a nice celebration for the holidays, but we'll see. But yeah, let us know. You know how to reach us, right? LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever. Smoke signals.
Indeed. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to speak to you, Harjit. Good to speak to you, everyone. Thank you for all the questions.
Thanks for joining.
I need to drop now, and I'll see you all in a couple of weeks if we don't see you in Dallas. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Cheers.